Welcome in everybody, this is MTG GAME STATE, Smoke Packs, your intrepid leader. We got huge, big MTG news. I mean, it's nuts. Top of the week cards that are popping the fuck off. We're gonna get into it, so stick around, here we go. Also, real quick, I wanna shout out my boy. You know him, you love him. Suborbital Says. Let me get my screen all good so you can see him. They're trying to mod a DS, a 3DS, I believe, and it's been pretty sick watching that. If you don't follow, give them a follow. Pop in on their stream. I honestly suggest watching their stream. If you're not a Magic fan, my boy Sub, he's for you right now. That being said, we're gonna load up the music, get the drum and bass popped off. I love that he's doing that. That's so fucking cool. Oh shit. One dab in and I'm already off into space, lurking for a sec while I make something to eat. You do you. Thank you, Staunton. I appreciate that. Dude, how do you think I feel? I'm baked as fuck trying to run this whole operation, my man. I love you, Sub. Here we go. All right. So, getting into the news. Big stuff, my guys. Big stuff. We got bans up the wazoo. And this is specifically affecting Modern. Yes, Modern still exists, guys. I know. But this might be one of the biggest bans in the format right now. So, Violent Outburst is gone in Modern. Yes. Basically, the new ban and restricted announcement just dropped, and it's quite impactful on Modern, despite containing just one card. But, dude, that's what I'm saying. When finally freeing Ponder and Vintage. I feel like Ponder and Vintage, which we'll get into, is a bit bigger, but whatever. I digress. If you want to read the R&D notes on why they made or didn't make changes, take a look at the link above. This guy's going to be breaking down what they think these changes will result in, alongside some thoughts on Pioneer, which is kind of a poppin' format in the 60 card. We're all talking 60 card formats now. Earlier I mentioned Commander, which is a 100 card format, 99 plus the 1. These are all 60 cards where you get to have 4 of each type of card, okay? So Violent Outburst, banned in Modern. This is like the extended, you can play every single Magic card almost, besides some of the early 90s stuff, in your deck and just beat the shit out of people. So, 3-drop, 1 of any color, a red and a green. And it's an instant, can be played at any time. Cascade. And Cascade is an effect that says, when you cast this spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exiled cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then creatures you control get +1 until end of turn. So basically, you can get any of your 2 or 1-drop cards in your deck out, instantly get them a buff on their power until end of turn, and just start swinging out if they have haste and stuff. Because it has to be less than, in the Cascade, if this was like a 6-drop, you'd get like anything 5 and lower. But this is a 3-drop, so that costs less than 3 of this spell, okay? That's pretty nuts. Still pretty expensive card, $6, almost $7 card. Market price, buy lists, people will pay you almost close to $4 at the store, which I doubt. But that's just hey, we're not gonna get in there, okay? But still, for an old school common card, insane value. Well, shit, I forgot a card while I was ordering them earlier. Mesmeric Orb. Ooh. What does Mesmeric Orb do? All right, here we go. So that's a pretty big deal, and this article will in the YouTube link we'll put all of the articles in the description so you can really read into anything I decided to skip over because we have a lot to go on. But basically, Cascade decks are pretty powerful, and on our list we're gonna see right here. Spoiler alert. It's important to note. So let's see what dude actually is saying real quick. The logic here is that instant speed Cascade was too difficult to answer, especially when combined with free spells like Force of Negation, which is a sick counter spell. That part I'm sympathetic to. Cascade isn't the most fun play pattern, and being able to do at the end of turn without with or without force protection, then do it again on your turn, makes it nearly impossible to stop something like playing Chalice of the Void. Basically, this deck can be played at any turn in Magic's like turn order, and it's really annoying in the big boy format. And one of these cards is on this list that we're going to talk about later. So that's that. So maybe in the Ogmoth format, there's probably like a Gruul or a Jund black, green, red kind of thing going on. I'm just kind of pulling out of the Aether here, quick reading. But Pioneer, we don't got any changes. They wanted Treasure Cruise banned in Pioneer. It did not happen. And it is a nasty, basically free draw 3 card. Usually anything that lets you draw 3 is going to be 3 of any. It's going to be like 3 mana. Okay? But this in Pioneer and just in any format is nasty. But Pioneer is kind of a more limited format than Modern. So I think it starts from the first Ravnica set onward. I could be wrong, but hey, I get what they're saying, because this is nasty in blue and anything that mixes blue. But Vintage, what I wanted to talk about, Ponder is unbanned. A 1-drop blue sorcery, so it means you can't play at any time, only on a couple of main phases. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. That is straight up nasty, because you get to reorder your deck, the top 3, and then you get to draw at least 1 out of the 3 that you put there. Or if you put, like, let's say before you play Ponder, you put a card from the field or your hand on top of your deck for whatever reason, and then Ponder it. You get what I'm saying? And that's pretty big in Vintage. Vintage is the super old format of Magic. That's like almost every single card is pretty much available to play from Magic's history. I think besides like the Power 9. There we go. I was feeling a base check there. Somewhere. Welcome in. They wanted an Urza Saga restriction, but hey, that's just them. So that's one out of many articles. Now, moving on, guys. Mill a card every time you untap something. Mesmeric Orb. Holy shit. Pardon my French, but Hida, that is... That's a spicy one, dude. What formats are you putting that for? What kind of deck are you putting that for? Welcome in. So, more savvier Magic the Gathering fans, I think that's who we have around here at this point. I know I got my Marvel Snap homies and my usual homies around here, welcome in. But we're going to explain something. So, Magic the Gathering does crossovers, like with Jurassic Park and other IPs. It started out with Walking Dead. Other times they've done, I'm trying to think, there's so many. Transformers, which is one of the sickest ones. So if you like 80s Transformers, they have cards like that. They have Street Fighter series crossover. So different IPs. Stranger Things was also a bigger one. Different IPs, they cross over in Magic with stuff that's happening kind of in those IPs' marketing strategies as well. There's like kind of some huge synergy that's been going on. One of the biggest ones also, Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons. They're all coming to my mind right now. And those are called, in the Secret Lair universe, those are called universes beyond. Meaning it's like, yo, it's the Magic world beyond Magic cards. And to not make the players mad about the IP crossover early on, like 4 years ago when this all started and the floodgates got opened, they said, okay, if we make a Ryu Street Fighter card or a Stranger Things Kids card, we'll make a Magic in-universe card equivalent. Okay? Smoke Packs, what the fuck are you saying, dude? Well, basically this. You see what I'm saying? If you see it on screen. We got Rick Steadfast, Leaders of Secret Lair. They made a, in Magic universe, in a Strad version, Raymond, Avacyn, Stalwart. I don't know, for whatever reason, just, there you go. And these were kind of secret pulls in some packs, like set boosters, so they're kind of not easy to pull as well, which is pretty cool if you're like into collecting. We got Daryl. I love Glenn. Glenn was a really cool card. His universe is within is weird. But just so you get, we got Lucille, the card in Negan. Just so you guys got picking up what I'm laying down here. Welcome in. Basically, Magic the Gathering is like, yeah, we're gonna stop that shit because it's just getting too intense. We're only gonna do the IPs and we're not gonna do the Magic the Gathering in-universe crossovers. Or sorry. Let's just hop in this article real quick. Over the course of the last couple of years, there's no denying the sheer volume of Universes Beyond products that have entered the world of MTG. That's basically like the Street Fighter shit I was telling you about. Given the massive success of the Lord of the Rings set had overall, the increase in focus on MTG crossovers isn't too shocking. While MTG head designer Mark Rosewater made it clear that Magic the Gathering IP and in-universe content isn't going anywhere, it appears as though Universes Beyond products have also become a priority for Wizards of the Coast. Basically meaning the Universes Beyond is becoming a real big deal. Universes Within is just not really hitting right now. And because of the successful marketing, like we've always talked about historically on this show, the marketing has been so good that it's oversaturated. Been hard for brick and mortar stores, which are struggling to start up as small businesses. The whole big gamut. Look into Magic's like last 4 years of videos and you'll catch up with me, okay? Still great game, love it. It's just, when it's a 30-year-old game with this big of like a marketing strategy and stuff, a lot of players who have been playing for a long time voice their feelings, whether it's positive or negative. We're a very wily bunch. Welcome the fuck in for the millionth time. Plenty of players have voiced their frustrations with mixing of MTG lore with stories from outside the MTG sphere. This issue became exacerbated with the release of Lord of the Rings cards into Modern. This completely changed the landscape of one of MTG's most popular constructed formats. Basically, these fucking cards like the One Ring, you guys know Rick Steadfast Leader was crapping on everybody in Vintage and Legacy. He was a problem really early on. Triumph of St. Catherine, just read this card. This is straight up nasty. 5-drop, 4 of any color, white, 5/5, human warrior, lifelink. When it dies, exile it in the top 6 cards of your library in a face-down pile. If you do, shuffle that pile and put it back on top of your library. And if you get the miracle cost, you could cast it when you draw it if it's the first card you drew this turn, which is, again, sick as fuck. So in the 60-card format, I can see that's doing some nasty things. So another culprit, since we're just going to skip into the article, since I kind of know what's going on here, Orcish Bowmasters was also doing a nasty number in Modern and Legacy. So they're saying basically they want to do Universes Within cards of these cards, but they're probably just not going to now, and that sucks because cards like Orcish Bowmasters and Delighted Halfling are really expensive, and this guy thinks maybe the names are generic enough where they can keep reprinting them and make them like evergreen names, but hey man. You read the article and decide. There'll be in link in description. Moving the big F on. Commander Mill, that's sick. I got a Land Destroy deck with Lord Windgrace, so that's just kind of the person I'm on, you know? You can tell who I am. Yeah, I have this Street Fighter Secret Lair as well. I love Chun-Li. I always blank on his name. The green guy, the electric guy, he was really cool too. And I have Hadouken in one of my decks as well. The classic lit alt arts for the latest Innistrad sets in Arena were sick as hell. Included Dracula. Yeah, the Dracula crossover, the Dracula movie crossover. That was sick AF. Yeah, Blanca. Dude, the Dracula. Those cards too, in real life, people slept on them. Don't sleep on the Dracula lore crossover cards, for real, okay? So, coming up in one of the spoilers we'll talk about, you're gonna be like, what is he talking about? What's Burrow? We'll talk about that. Spoilers ahead after this, so if you don't wanna see spoilers, hit up my man Suborbital says. They're doing big things. Shell swap on the 3DS XL. You'll love to see it. So, major errata announced for Burrow. To put it lightly, the vast world of MTG has been incredibly busy recently. That's what I'm saying. Last week we had Secret Layers announcements of announcements. That's what I'm saying. RIP Sheldon Maneri. We had the Sheldon Maneri Secret Layer drop. And your money, if you bought it at the time, will go to a charity fund for cancer. Shout out. And we got a bunch of shit. We got they probably had a crazy live stream explaining everything I'm talking about today. So continuing with a non-stop stream of content, we've seen even more spoilers, products, and meta-breaking decks emerge. On top of all that, MTG's lead designer Mark Rosewater has recently made a major announcement via their Tumblr blog, Blogatalk. Rosewater has revealed that a major MTG errata is on the way with Burrow release. During the first look event of Burrow, many MTG players were understandably enamored by the adorable art. Let's appreciate the spoiler. It looks like it's a mouse soldier. That's a little cute. First of its kind theme being the set's selling point. That isn't a surprise. A couple of details, there's only 4 cards. Yeah, the spoilers ahead are only going to be like each like set coming up, it's like 4 or 5 cards. Still, though, we are fed. Curiously, Mabel Heir to Cragflame doesn't say enters the battlefield. Like many MTG cards, instead the adorable protagonist of Burrow simply states enters. So ETB enters the battlefield is just going to be called enters, I believe is what's getting errated. According to Mark Rosewater, this is a change players are going to see a lot in the future. And I think it's a little controversial, not in like a negative way, just more of a the gasp. You know? Starting with Burrow, we are changing enters the battlefield to enters. Hear ye, stomp. Rosewater confirmed via Blogatalk this change will also be applied retroactively in the Oracle text for applicable cards. This means that on August 2nd, 2024, Smokepax is telling you right now there will be a major errata to the aesthetics of MTG cards, okay? Notably, while Wizards is making this change, Rosewater states that the enters the battlefield isn't going away entirely. Instead, this classic terminology will still be used from time to time when they feel the need for added clarity. But this seems like it's just a textual, like for as long as Magic has existed, they always update text and try to make it more understandable and more for the gameplay and more short. How can they keep the text box as short as it can for some cards? And they do this. This is not, while I did say this is controversial, this is still not too uncommon. I just think for enters the battlefield, that's crazy for me, okay? But it's just semantics, okay? Thankfully, while the switch to enters the battlefield will errata over 5,000 MTG cards, this change isn't devastatingly complex. It really isn't. Still, that's just how I feel, okay, man? Unfortunately, while enters will be a change to creatures, technically it already exists in MTG since their inception in Dominaria. Enters has been used for sagas without major problems. They pranked you guys. Welcome in, they pranked you. Jace is a furry now. Hope you're happy. We do have that's what I'm saying, we've always said ETB anyways in anything we've been playing, so. All right, moving on. Huge, where we left off around the March 8th, 14th era or whatever. Week of March 8th was the Fallout Commander decks, which came out to great success, super hyped. Cover them briefly for a couple of videos. Moving on, we're going into the much-awaited, highly anticipated Cowboy set, Cowboy-themed set, which is pretty nuts because everyone always wanted a Cowboy-themed set for the last couple of years, and you finally got it. So this is Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and this is going to be a theme where, and if you're a One Piece fan, I'm not too familiar with One Piece, but I've watched it via my friends just sitting around their house. And like I know there's a arc where like Luffy ends up on an island with all the bad guys, and they kind of like Buggy's there and stuff, and they kind of gotta like do shit. This sets that. All the bad guys in Magic's history straight up ended on this plane of Thunder Junction and are now like cowboy outlaws. And it's pretty funny. Like all the badass planeswalkers, like you'll see, okay? So Duelist of the Mind, I feel like this is a reprint, but I don't know. 2-drop, human, star 3. Oh, dude, we talked about this last episode. In order to get your face or name on a Magic card, there's not a lot, like it's a very hard thing to do, and there's certain requirements. And one of them is to be a world champ. We've talked about this last MTG Game State on the YouTube. So, Duelist of the Mind, 2-drop, Human Advisor, Flying Vigilance, which is nasty already. Duelist of the Mind's power is equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Okay, keep me going. Whenever you commit a crime, that's new terminology, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So this is Nathan Steerer, world champion 25, 6, 7, 8. Wow. That's his face right there. Oh, welcome in. In 2 years, there's going to be emojis for abilities. In 3 years, each card will have so much text you'll need to scan a QR code to be able to read the whole card. Welcome in, Mr. Lime. So Duelist of the Mind's pretty big. It looks like we have some other crazy spoilers within this, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hell to Pay. Deals X damage to target creature. Create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the number of excess damage dealt to the creature this way. So if you're dealing like, if it's like a 1-drop creature you're trying to kill and you deal like 5 damage to it, you're gonna draw 4 cards, I believe. Or sorry, you're gonna create a number of 4 treasure. You're gonna create 4 treasure tokens because excess damage is like, you know, excess. Do the math, okay? Wherever you subtracted and that got way left over. So we got a really cool. Damn. Really sick. Gotta get my ad block back on. We got a really sick. I believe this would be the showcase frame. The Prosperity Post, Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is a reprint, but okay. I like this. And I love the extended art though, even more. And it's by William Tempest. Follow William wherever they're posting their art, guys. Please. And I guess Thoughtseize is now in a Mythic Rare. Here we go. Oh my god, it's a jail cell is the logo for the stamp set. That's nuts. Split cards are coming back. Crime and Punishment. Love to see it. And I love this. Dude, why? I love this. Okay, I love this. This is like the newspaper cowboy frame print. I love this. But I love this. William Tempest, dude. This guy's going somewhere. Put target creature enchantment card from opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Huge, big, big, big. But then in colors that it's going to be really hard to mix all these. Here we go. What do we got? Oh, I guess this would be a really... Whoa, no, this would go great in like my Mutate Nethroid deck. Hang on. Destroy each artifact creature and enchantment with mana value X. Sorry, I'm getting really hyped reading this sideways. I could put this in a Nethroid deck. Committing a crime means targeting an opponent's permanent. Might mean more. Hira Ken Shiro. This is why you're here. Thanks for that knowledge and info. I really appreciate that. That's sick. I was like, dude, what the heck does that mean? Nexus of Becoming, 6-drop artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 3/3 golem artifact creature in addition to its other types, and you know the extended secret art set within a set art is going to be badass, along with the name of Nexus of Becoming. That's by Mark Poole, classic Mark Poole. And Adam Volker on the OBG art. You can even, if you even draw into an artifact or creature too, you can exile it. This is pretty weird. Pretty weird. So Oko, he's back, and he's the ringleader. And he was a big planeswalker when he came out. They immediately had to ban him. I'm reading chat. Y'all are wily. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Oko the ringleader becomes a copy of one of the target creatures you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. Sorry, it becomes a copy of up to one target creature you control. It's +1, draw 2 cards. If you committed a crime this turn, discard a card. Otherwise, just discard 2. Create a 3/3 green elf creature token for -1, and is -5. For each other non-land permanent you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent, and it's a token. Mr. Lime, we already know that's going to be broken. Yeah, I remember, dude. You that was one of the first early nasty polls you got. I do remember that. And his variant, I like this. This is okay. Debuante Nocturno. Follow Debuante wherever they're posting their art, guys. This is what we want. We want cowboys on elks, dude. Lee Setiawan on the art. Follow all guys. Just follow these Magic artists. They're doing insane things. Tiny Bones is in a standard set. Everyone's favorite Tiny Bones. Death Touch. Whenever Tiny Bones Pickpocket deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent from that player's graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it, which is pretty cool. Spark up. Guys, don't forget, we got these sick magic emojis. If you're smoking, let me know. So we had a new sword too. Completely new sword in the cycle, which is nasty. Throwing out the catchphrases like I own them around here. But seriously, guys, this is unprecedented. Sword of Wealth and Power. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has protection from instants and sorceries. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this way, copy that spell. You may choose new targets, and it's equipped to. And you know it's got that sick alt art. And you know I'm sipping water. Don't forget to hydrate, guys. Huge. Huge. Fibblethip's back, but who cares? And then we got some cool sick plans. So that's part of what we're going. I know this is like, damn, this is insane. But this is insane, guys. The spoilers are real out here. Modern Horizons 3 is back. For some reason, they made Commander decks. So the meme is real that it was the original Commander Masters. Now you're getting Commander decks. I don't think these are going to be in it. This is possibly going to be a special guest card within, yep, Modern Horizons 3. But there we go. This is a Commander card, I think. Priest of Titania, welcome back. Pay 1 life, sacrifice Blue Delta, search your library for Island or Swamp. We got Alright. Fetch lands coming back. What I wanted to really look at, though... Whoa. What I wanted to really look at, though, was we got some flip cards. What's going on here? When a Johnny Nactel Pariah enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token. Okay. When one or more other cats you control die, you may exile this card, return him to the battlefield, transform under his owner's control. And they're saying him and his, so now they're doing what we all say for the cards anyways. It's pretty cool. I like that. A Johnny Knackdell, Avenger, comes back as a Planeswalker. So flip Planeswalkers like Magic Origins are coming back, which is huge. +2, put a +1 counter on each cat you control. Okay, okay. Create a 2/1 white cat creature warrior token. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than this Planeswalker, it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. So we got a 0 spot removal and token generator, which is scary. Each -4, each opponent chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a Planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control and sacks the rest. What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? You think Phil with him in the new MTG is going to be the big bad? They did lose me at Cats. Cats don't dance, my man. Mr. Lime, though, his commander deck in Cats is scary big. Scary big. So that's cool. And I wanted to see, why do we have a new Emrakul? What's up with this? Emrakul, World of New. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flying, protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn. There we go. When Emrakul, the World Anew, leaves the battlefield, sack all creatures you control. And it's madness. Yo, shout out to my brother. He got me for my birthday last year. Madness Commander deck. We're going to throw this in there. You know that's for damn sure. And it's in the old school art frame. Yeah. In the extended art frame. Is that Mark Tedden? Concept art frame by Mark Tedden. Some good kush. All right. So we got the Modern Horizons 3 out of our systems. Assassin's Creed, all of our video game lovers, this one's for you. Yes, we're getting, I believe it's going to be a full Assassin's Creed set, like Lord of the Rings. It's not going to be like commander decks like Fallout. So we got Cleopatra, which is cool. We all love Cleopatra. Haystack. We all love the Haystack. You know what that does. Target creature you control phases out. That is scary. Hida, you seeing this? Marco, you seeing this? Yo, guys, focus up. You seeing this? Phases out on an artifact for 2 tap? And then if you had that mill deck you were saying earlier, you kidding me? I don't know. Is that just me? Oh, sick. Oh, sick. Oh, nasty. This is sick nasty, guys. In the Greek, I believe this would be Greek. Sheesh. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1 counter on each of up to 2 other target legendary creatures. Okay, legendary creatures matters. This would be good for your legendary deck. I don't know if you have this, Mr. Lime, but let me know. Whenever a legendary creature with counter on it dies, draw a card for each other counter on it, you lose 2 life. That's still big. Legendary Matter stuff is pretty popular too. Sword of Feast and Famine in the Altair art, that's a must cop for me. Ezio, Blade of Vengeance, so much like the Doctor Who set, they're probably gonna have all of your favorites. Dude, Altair Ibn La'aha, dude, where it all started, guys. Welcome home. 3-drop Mardu. First strike, 3/3. Human Assassin. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tap and attacking token that's a copy of it. Except those tokens have exile those tokens at end of combat. Oh my god, and you know what's up. We got a lot of Assassin's Creed flavor, like one flavor here. Also, in the middle of the segment, I want to shout out, guys, if you like this music, you could follow, if you do exclamation ST, Sawteeth on Bandcamp. 18-year-old South Korean producer doing crazy big things with old school D&B, jungle, tech. They have good albums. They're part of a crew called Jungle Fatigue Crew. Give them a check. Also on YouTube as well. They gave us permission to use their music, and for real, they're my ride or die. I love them. Big homie. Welcome in. Big future. Temporal Trespass. That's going to be weird. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Temporal Trespass, and you can delve 8. Exile cards. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting the spell pays for 1. This would be good if you have some self-mill in your deck. This would be really good for the extra turn, just flavor. Because 3 blue, that's easy in blue. So we got the Animus, Hidden Blade, and then Ezio. This is gonna be a set I'm not gonna want to miss out. I'm not gonna lie. We got Leonardo da Vinci. How did I miss him? He was a big player in the game. Oh my god, guys. That's amore. And he's an Italian. Fino alla fine del turno. Dude, shout out to all my fratelli in Italy. Guys, I'm in a Marvel Snap clan from Italy. Shout out Eterna's Game on Twitch. Can we get a shout out to Eterna's Game, please, mods? Let me know. I know this is the Magic Card segment, but I got to shout out my boss. Pesca una carta, pues carta una carta. Let's see what that says in English. Please, excuse. So, pay 5 until end of turn. Thopters you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. He's a 3-drop. That's nasty. Pay 3, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact card, exile it from your grave. If you do, create a token that's a copy, except it's a 0/2 Thopter with flying in addition to its other types. I could see this with Noxious Gearhulk getting really, really annoying. This is going to be a must-have card. Wow, guys. This is a big... Usually, like I said, I try to keep these by 40 to 50 minutes, but this is a big episode. We have a lot to talk about. So, Burrow spoilers, where it all started with the ETB. We're going to have Mice Matters. Other mice you control get +1. When this enters the battlefield, create a legendary colorless equipment artifact token with equipped creature gets +1, has vigilance, trample, and haste, and equip 2. I'm gonna need that for my knight equip deck, I think. Even though it's a soldier, that's still. I believe Burrow, though, just real quick, just going through it, is gonna be a Creatures Matter type deck set. Hear me out. Creatures Matters. +1/+1 counters matter. You heard it here first. Creature types matter and counters matter set. Okay? Thank you. And then Duskmourn is, I don't know what the fuck this set's going to be. We only have image. I think this is going to be the House on Haunted Hill type set, if you're familiar with that movie as a horror fan. All right. Now into what the real segment is. Yeah, Mouse Lord is gonna be sick, dude. Because in the first Eldraine, mice were a big deal too. All right, getting into the tail end of the segment, guys. You know it, you love it. Our MTG stocks segment. I'm gonna go look over what the hell is going on in this world of Magic cards and in the market. So, since we were saying Burrow will be... Oh, yo! Welcome in, Suborbital and all the Raiders. How'd the... We were checking in on you earlier. How did the shell swap mod go on the 3DS XL? Did you cut your nails when you had to pry open the plastic? Let me know. Hope you're well. Welcome in. Raiders, we're getting into the tail end of MTG segment where we're talking MTG Finance, MTG Stocks. We're going to go look at our first card, which is Nuka-Cola, the Fallout set. Nuka-Cola, not the Surge Foil Borderless, just the Borderless, if I can get it, please. You gotta be really specific with the names now, guys. So, I love that the alt arts for the Fallout Commander sets, we're doing the classic Fallout art. Even if you're not a Magic fan, but you're a Fallout fan, I think it's pretty neat. Shell swap complete-ish. Yeah, I think this card is gonna be amazing, dude. So, I have Market's listing at $30. It just came out like literally a week ago. Market's listing at $30.49, but people are buying it off the secondary market for $24.15. And you could pay one tap, create a food token. That's why I think this is going to be a big card. It's it's just a food token generator. And I think Burrow, the next set coming up after the Cowboy set, is going to really care about tokens and +1s and stuff. So I'm sounding the alarm, and it's in a commander set that has different hard to get foils. You got an original printing that's still $17, but everyone wants this, come on. Even if it's not foil, the borderless alt art. So sounding the alarm. Moving on, in relation to the Fallout Commander set, I have an old card from Kaladesh way back from 2017. Saw no life. Somehow had a little life in October 2022, but who cares? Seeing life due to energy coming back in the Fallout Commander decks. We went over it on the last MTG Game State with the spoilers. There's a commander who cares about energy. Whenever Gonti's Aether Heart enters, or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy counters. And you can pay 2, 4, 6, 8 energy, exile Gonti's Aether Heart, take an extra turn after this. So this is, again, another extra turn matters. I think these are really important cards to have if you're playing Commander and you're doing an artifact build, energy build. And that Commander deck now with Fallout, you can use this. So it's seeing some life. I have, as of March 11th, Market's listing at $15.81. But you know everyone's buying low at $15.04. I know we got average on the top saying 18 and market saying 16, but when you look at the slow growth finance charts here, this is what I'm going off of, okay? $10 on Card Kingdom, but if you're going on TCG Play, you're probably gonna pay $15. And if you're buying off like Facebook marketplaces and stuff, people might price around $15 to $10. So that's second on the list. Now going into our earlier conversation about the banning, Ardent Plea is going to be a big card in Cascade. It didn't get the ban hammer for Modern, but it is going to be a big deal. So, 3-drop enchantment. Exalted, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gets +1 until end of turn. Great, we love it. But it also has Cascade, and again, it's a 3-drop, so you can get some 2 or 1-drop creature cost cards out for free, or even any permanent for that matter. So there you go, there you have it. That's just real quick, but it was like a $2, $3 card. It was like kind of like we got $5 back in 2022. What was going on back then? Something was going on back then. But realistically, it was a $2 or $3 card. Now getting insanely popped, possibly because of the banning, and people are gonna have to try to do new color Cascade builds, I guess. So as of March 11th, I have Ardent Plea. Market's listing at $13.65. people are buying it for $12.82 off TCG Player. Okay? Now, something I want to get to in our honorable mention, which is a card I'm surprised is getting life. When I pulled it, I thought, you know, this will never be where it used to be. I'm typing honorable mention. That's funny. And it's Altar of Dementia. The Tempest printing and the Modern Horizons printing, which is sitting at a nice $10. It's getting life. I know it doesn't look like it on the curve, but we're seeing the market, something's going on. The market's listing it high at $26.36 as of March 11th, 2024. There we go. And people are buying at $10.91. So I don't know, something's going on. Sack a creature, target player puts a number of cards equal to that creature's power from the top of their library into his or her graveyard. So you can mill. You can mill anybody with this. This would be great. Hida, welcome in. You already know, I somehow knew you were going to be here with your mill deck, and I picked the honorable mention just for you. But yeah, I'm sounding the alarm on this. It's getting pricey out of nowhere, and it's in Conspiracy and Modern Horizons. Some Brothers War, retro artifact frames, sure, I guess. But because and we've talked about this historically on MTG Game State, when cards are reprinted a lot, but only in like weird old school things or harder to get stuff and weird frames and stuff, they'll still be more premium, okay? And it looks like we're seeing recent decks using this in Legacy and Modern. So that's all I got for you today on the MTG Game State. Beefy, chunky up, as always.